have that feeling like you're lost and you have no idea where you're going or what you're doing in your life? Like everything just seems foggy? Oftentimes, when we come off a big energy thing like the eclipse over the last weekend, or just any time in our life when we have a lot of big energy swirling around us, or maybe a lot of chaos and a lot of activity, or maybe a lot of overwhelm, things can feel like you have no idea what's going on and you don't have any idea what you're supposed to be doing or where you're going or what am I doing with my life. We have all these ideas on how we think things are supposed to be, and then suddenly life shifts and things change, and you're like, what the hell's going on? I was remembering a time this morning about I was taking a road trip and for whatever reason had left in the middle of the night. And I was going over this mountain pass and everything just became socked in with fog. You couldn't see a foot in front of your face. Like I could just see the hood of my truck. And we were kind of coming down this really steep grade and had no idea where we were going. I remember being so scared and literally like putting all my focus on that white line on the side of the road and being like, if I can just follow this white line, everything will be fine. But there were times that I could barely even see that line. I had never seen fog like this. And I had someone riding with me and they had their window down and they were literally like looking out the window and we were talking to one another and we were going so slow. Sometimes in our life, our journey asks us to slow down and focus on what's in front of us. That things can get so big and so overwhelming that we have no idea what's next. This can be a beautiful gift of the journey, an invitation from the universe to become incredibly present. Because I got to tell you, I wasn't worried what was down the road a mile, 500 feet. I was only what concerned and focused on what was immediately in front of me. This forced this feeling of presence. This fog made everything shrink down right here. So oftentimes when we come out of an eclipse or have this feeling, this fog is a gift for us to get present and to focus on what's right in front of us. Because there's a lot of things shifting and changing right now. In our outside world, it can be so overwhelming if you try to predict and make a plan, because it seems like right now, any plans you make, they could change in a moment, or at least it can feel that way. I was in a session with someone the other day, and we were talking a little bit about this overwhelming feeling. And we were talking about all the thoughts, what I think, and the fear and the illusion that's happening. And it wasn't until in that session we shifted to feeling that we could actually be present and feel connected to the self. And it was in that moment of connection when we were able to shift from thinking to feeling that actually the fog lifted. Now, that will make no sense to the mind. But when we can get into that place of the heart and feel our way through our journey, connect to our feelings, connect to our heart, connect to what feels true, focus on love, focus on light, feel our feelings, bring love, compassion, and nurturing to that part of ourselves that might be feeling triggered right now. If you're anything like me, it's one of the most triggering things that can happen is if I feel like I don't have control or a plan or know where I'm going. And it's interesting because when we traveled that road back, it was in the daytime and there wasn't any fog. And I could see the road. And I could not believe there was the steepest, like, dropouts on the other side, like cliffs through these mountains. And in a way, I was so glad there was fog because had my mind seen all of that scary stuff, it probably would have been focusing on the fear and not focusing on what was in front of me. That white line following my path. I was actually being guided and protected and held closer in the fog than if I could have seen everything. You see, that's what fog can do. That's the way spirit speaks to us. It gets our attention and says, are you present right now? Because in the present right now is where I can connect to you. When you're in your head, in the future and being anxious, or if you're in the past in, um, reflecting and dwelling on mistakes, we can't hear. However, when we're in that presence, that's when we can see the magic. That's when we can feel the love. That's when we can see, hear, feel all the synchronicities in the language in which the universe speaks to us. But see, it's quieting this down to go into here, to be able to feel here and connect to your guidance, your higher power, whatever that is for you. So sometimes this fog is a blessing. I would say most of the time it's a blessing. It's how you choose to connect in that space. So if you have things in your life right now, maybe this eclipse or whenever you're watching this has cleared away some things and left you feeling confused and foggy, this is the time now to connect deeper, to bring forth that balance within through a meditation practice. Reach out and have an energy session with someone. Be vulnerable. Get quiet. Bring in to that tight container of the right now. Because when you feel connected to your heart and can hear your guidance system, the future doesn't seem so scary. Just like that road didn't seem as scary as it could have been had I really seen how high up we were. This is a beautiful moment in these foggy times for connection. If you're watching this now, we're moving in to Libra season and the fall. And if you've been with me through some of the in seasons, we know that fall is a time of bringing in balance, bringing in harvest, sitting in gratitude. Seeing and following our joy, reflecting on the things that have felt good for us. Because Spirit's really asking us to celebrate that harvest and that bounty right now in gratitude. Because in these foggy times, if you're able to come in and really focus on what you're grateful for in your heart, you're present. When you're in a state of gratitude, you're present. Now, your mind might say there is a lot of scary stuff out there right now. There's so much to be worried about. I've even had some people say it's really hard to feel grateful and good when things seem so bad. But if you're watching this video, you're someone who is meant to shine a light right now. And how do you shine a light? By fueling you and your spirit. The quickest way to fill yourself is through that act of gratitude and presence. You can let the world do whatever the world is going to do right now. As long as you stay connected to you and to your higher guidance system, whatever that is, you will be receiving the harvest, filling your soul, shining your light, because it is your light and your love right now that's needed in the world. It is a massive time of healing on our planet. And we all have been called to have different roles and to take different actions during this time. However, I feel that no matter what action you're being asked to take right now, make sure it's coming from here. Make sure it's coming from that centered, balanced, feeling place. The fear, the worry, the angst has been an energy that I feel has kind of led us long enough. The fog that you might feel, however that's resonating for you, the not knowing, is an invitation for you to connect deeper into your heart and in the present moment. And when you do this, it is from this place that you're able to heal yourself and ultimately everyone around you. So if you're feeling lost and foggy, do what you can to get present through a gratitude practice, meditation, energy sessions, prayer. Connect with other people too for support and love. I hope this video helped you. If you do want to book a personal session with me, you can visit jenhuber.com and we'll see you again.